Why can't you offend Capricorn? Capricorn is a sign that is often associated with seriousness, hard work, and pragmatism. People born under this sign may seem cold, even distant, but this is far from the case. Behind their outward calm lies a deep inner strength, self-control, and an incredible desire for success. However, despite their desire for stability and a responsible approach to life, Capricorns are people with a keen sense of dignity, and they can be very sensitive to insults. Why can't you offend Capricorns? Let's figure out what happens when you encounter this stubborn and highly principled sign. Capricorns value respect and decency. Capricorns are people who highly value honesty and decency in relationships. It's important to them not only what people say, but also how they act. If you violate their trust, let them down, or offend them in any way, it can deal a severe blow to their self-esteem. Capricorns are not used to wasting time on trifles. And if someone pretends to be a person with high moral principles, but in fact turns out to be a hypocrite or a deceiver, this is especially painful for them. When a Capricorn feels that he is not respected or that his values are being taken lightly, he takes it as a personal insult. It is important for this sign that his opinion and approach to life are recognized. Even if they don't outwardly express their dissatisfaction, they worry internally, and this experience can significantly affect their attitude towards a person. For Capricorn, resentment is not just an emotional reaction, it is the destruction of what he values in people. Capricorns do not forgive betrayal and failures. Capricorns strive for success and always give their all to work, career, and achievements. They are very ambitious and often set high goals for themselves, which they achieve with difficulty and perseverance. If someone offends them, especially at the moment when they are working on an important project or something important to them, this can be a serious reason for resentment. Betrayal or lying about Capricorn is one of the most painful things he can go through. He does not forgive those who ruin his plans or act against his interests. Capricorns perceive betrayal as a violation of their principles and hopes, and this is painful for their self-esteem. When they feel that trust has been violated, it can be the beginning of the end of a relationship with the person who offended them. The pursuit of success and personal independence makes Capricorn not only stubborn, but also very determined in his actions. He will not tolerate for long those who prevent him from achieving his goals or undermine his efforts. Capricorns are strongly attached to their loved ones. Despite their outward coldness and independence, Capricorns are incredibly attached to their loved ones, and it's very easy to offend them. These people value stability in relationships and always try to support their family, friends, and partners. If you hurt Capricorn in a personal relationship, especially if it involves family or close friends, the consequences can be much more serious than you expect. Capricorns can be silent for a long time and hide their pain, but they do not forget the offense. This sign is not used to expressing their feelings openly, so they can carry resentment for a long time, even if nothing outwardly happens. If you really offend Capricorn, it can lead to the fact that he simply stops communicating with you. Harmony in their inner circle is very important to Capricorns, and if this harmony is disrupted, they will defend themselves, even if it means distancing themselves from the person who offended them. Capricorns do not tolerate a frivolous attitude towards life. There is always a place for discipline and responsibility in Capricorn's life. These are people who are willing to work on themselves and on their goals without stopping halfway. Capricorns perceive the world as a place where everything has to be fought for and where every little thing is important. They don't understand. People who take life lightly don't set goals for themselves and don't strive for development. When someone tries to minimize their efforts or doesn't appreciate what they're doing, it can be perceived as resentment. If you behave irresponsibly, don't stick to commitments, or don't appreciate Capricorn's work, they can get very upset. Capricorns do not understand someone who is not ready to work and does not take life seriously. It is important for them that the people they communicate with share their values. And if someone does not, they begin to feel that their respect and efforts go unnoticed. This leads to frustration and a desire to distance oneself from such people. Capricorns may be silent, but their pain is deep. Capricorns are people who are not prone to emotional outbursts. They may not show their feelings and hide the pain from prying eyes. When they are offended, they can simply withdraw into themselves and stop communicating. Unlike some other zodiac signs, Capricorns do not seek to discuss their problems with others. Instead, they will withdraw and begin to experience resentment within themselves, which makes it even more painful and long-term. It is important to remember that Capricorns may not show their resentment for a long time, but as soon as they decide that they have been treated unfairly, they may simply stop communicating without giving you a second chance. This does not mean that they will take revenge, but their attitude towards you will change, and they can start acting very carefully so as not to get into such a situation again. Capricorns value stability and peace in relationships, and if this world has been destroyed, it will be very difficult to restore it. Capricorns are determined in their actions. Capricorns are not only very sensitive, but also determined. When they make a decision, they do it firmly and often do not change their minds. If they feel that they have been offended, they will not think long about the issue of forgiveness. This sign does not forgive easily, especially when it comes to those who have violated its principles or dignity. They can act extremely decisively and turn away from the person who offended them, which makes their reaction very radical. If a Capricorn feels that their respect for you has been undermined, they will not return to their previous relationship. They can be very cold and decisive in their actions, even if it means losing contact with you. This is not revenge, but simply a consequence of their desire to preserve their own dignity and self-respect. Striving for success and self-sufficiency, Capricorns are ambitious people who always strive for success and are constantly working on themselves. They don't like it when someone tries to interfere with them or stands in the way of their goals. If you offend Capricorn, undermining his efforts or interfering with his personal and professional achievements, this will cause him not just resentment, but deep disappointment. Capricorns are extremely sensitive to any attempts to limit their abilities or challenge their successes. It is important for them that their efforts are recognized and their achievements appreciated. If they feel that someone doesn't appreciate their work or is trying to weaken their position, it becomes a personal insult. Capricorns, as a rule, do not seek support from others. They prefer to be self-sufficient, but when someone offends them, they will feel that they do not deserve this relationship. How not to offend Capricorn? To avoid offending Capricorn, you need to follow a few simple rules. Respect their work. Capricorns value their efforts, and it's important that you understand how much effort they've put into achieving it. Be honest and direct. They do not forgive deception and hypocrisy. Don't violate their personal principles. If Capricorn adheres to strict moral values, do not try to undermine them. Let's give them space for their ambitions. Capricorns are very ambitious and strive for success. Do not interfere with them in this. Be loyal and reliable. Capricorns value stability and loyalty, and do not tolerate betrayal. Capricorns are people who possess deep inner strength, ambition, and high moral principles. They are very sensitive to insults, and when their respect or achievements are questioned, they may react harshly and not forgive. In order not to offend Capricorn, it is important to appreciate their work, be honest, and respect their principles. This sign takes relationships very seriously, and if you hurt them, the consequences can be long-term. It is best to avoid conflicts with Capricorn and treat him with due respect.